Today we're joined by Jonathan Nicholson of the CAA. Hi, Jonathan. How are you?
Yeah, good morning. Fine, thanks. You?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us today. I really appreciate it on a rather rainy, well, it's certainly rainy Monday morning here.
It's not too bad here, but yeah, it's not as nice as yesterday. Yeah, you're
No,
right.
indeed, exactly. So we're going to be talking today about a certain email that I received and many others received entitled the Drone and Model Aircraft Safety Information Survey, which is therefore, as you would expect, a survey sent out by the CAA in order to gain some information. Could you start by telling us what the objectives of the survey are?
Yeah, so we have a lot of anecdotal evidence and a lot of our own thinking about why drone community, professional, amateur, enthusiasts, racers, whatever, we get a lot less safety reports from the drone community than we do from other areas of aviation. There's a lot of probably reasonable reasons for that we think we know, but it's not really for us to say why individuals or people don't do something. So we're asking them. Back up, either dispel our views and our thoughts or confirm them. That then enables us to act. But act in the right way. That means we encourage the community or make it easier for the community to actually report, because they're really useful for everybody, not just for us, but for the community as well.
Absolutely. So, and of course, we're talking. We touched on this at DroneX when we chatted there, from the point of view that manned aviation, of course, is very much used to reporting everything, and there is that just sort of culture there where it isn't seen as an issue. It's just it's more information for the hive mind, as it were, and
absolutely,
and that type of thing. So because there has been some anxiety from the community expressed to Geeksvana that this is some kind of sort of cloak and dagger way of introducing more regulation, basically.
How would you actually, it's trying to do the opposite. So if we want to move forward, we want to introduce things like everyday BV loss or other aspects that the community want, or the innovative tech companies that we're working with want. We need data. So if everything we do is based on data. So we need evidence that things are safe to be able to unlock other things.
Absolutely.
We can't just say, oh, we think it's safe, but so we're going to do something.
Yes.
We need the evidence, and so that's one aspect. The other aspect is it's intelligence for everybody. So if we get a number of reports showing an issue with a particular model of drone, we can go to the manufacturer. That's the kind of thing we do in the rest of aviation. So we'll go to Airbus, we'll go to Boeing, we'll go to Rolls-Royce and say, we've got this bunch of occurrence reports. You probably want to look at it. And it's data that they may not have otherwise. It's other things we could, for example, if people are reporting GPS outages in a certain location, we can let people know about that. So if you go flying there, that that's a possibility. But without that data, we can't then either move things forward that we want to move forward, or help to make things safer, because we've got evidence that of issues that people can act on.
Who did this survey get sent out to?
So it's gone to about 250,000 people. So it's primarily everybody who's registered as an operator with us. So and a few other select people like associations and representative groups and that kind of thing as well. There's some more focused group communications going on as well. So some people will have had or be getting emails asking to join little video chats as well, so we can get a little bit more evidence behind the raw data, if you like, from what people think as well.
So this really is a genuine deep. This isn't just a blind survey. Hey, let's see what happens, and one of those surveys that companies send out, and it all goes back to a marketing company, and then they put it together. You actually want to engage to the level that selected ones are actually having one-to-one chats with you about their experiences.
So a lot of those will be with associations or larger users, because I mean, yes, we are interested in the enthusiast, the people flying for fun. We want their reports, we want their responses to the survey, but a lot of the stuff that we'll get that will be perhaps the most defining data will come from the larger operators, the professional operators. It's the equivalent of the British Airways, if you like, in the traditional aviation world, where they're doing a lot of flying. They're perhaps pushing the boundaries a bit more with larger devices, and that's where they're the people we really think should be reporting all the time, and then obviously the more data we get from the enthusiast area as well, that all builds into the picture. So a lot of the focus groups will be more with those more commercial users, if you like.
The email has been out there a few days. What kind of initial response have you had?
Yeah, really good. So just checked actually before we spoke. We've got 30,000, just over 30,000 responses so far, and actually quite positive. So a lot of people are saying actually this would be really useful because I'd like to. The predominant thing is people saying I want to learn from others. So and this is a thing we see out throughout traditional aviation as well. There's a in particularly for private flying recreational pilots, there's the classic I learned about flying from that, and it will be a near miss, an incident, something they've happened that they share, and then it's kind of like one of the most popular things that everybody ever does, that everybody reads those, and you learn from it, and that's obviously what people are after.
Just to remind people, are you currently obliged to report unmanned crashes?
Yeah, so absolutely. So everything that traditional aviation reports, then Drone ARPA's community should really be reporting the same kind of thing. So serious incidents, accidents. I mean, accidents actually should be reported to the Air Accidents Investigation Branch, like an aircraft accident as well. So that's part of their thinking is partly people and yes, drones have now been around for a while, and people have got into the community, and there's a lot of activity, but historically it's still really new compared to other aspects of aviation. So we absolutely get that people may not understand how to report or what to report or why to report. We understand a lot of the report. There's numerous places to report that you could do. When you get to those places, it's not easy. A lot of them tend to be skewed towards traditional aviation rather than drones. So that's all about sort of thinking, but we're hoping this either confirms that or dispels that. Whichever way, it enables us to have evidence to go and make it better.
Excellent. What level of crash, what level of incident would you say should be reported? Because obviously one of the bit of feedback that I had, especially in our Discord channel, and hi to our Discord members, is from the FPV community, who of course if they're not crashing, they're not flying properly. So I'm told anyway.
Yes, or they're not having fun, one or the other.
Exactly. But what level of incident is the threshold level?
Yeah, so I mean, really, we're talking about I mean, the FPV is slightly different, and yes, we understand that. We're really talking about a serious issue where there is an accident, really, what you would think of as a proper damage accident, or so there's a difference between what's actually legally reportable and then what you report because you think it might be useful for other people. So we would always say report more, if in doubt report. Now, especially if you think it's going to be useful for others to learn, but certainly if there's damage or a very near miss that was very serious, then that's the kind of thing that you should be reporting.
And when you say damage, do you mean to the aircraft itself that they're flying, or to something
that
else?
would normally be the criteria.
Excellent.
Damage to the aircraft or injury to a person would be the other thing as well.
And it's worth just very quickly as a piece of information for BMFA and FPV UK members that are using the Article 16 authorization. Those organisations, because that is an operational authorization, they ask you to report every incident that happens because, of course, it's more and more data. We had Simon Dale on from FPV UK, and he made that same request. Basically, whatever happens, however small, report it from the point of view that it's data. And the fact that they're then able to go back to and approach you guys at the CAA and say, look, we've had 2,000 incidents last year, and zero injuries, zero near misses, zero damage to other people's property, that type of thing.
It's very strong data.
Yeah, it shows the Article 16 is working, and perhaps even more allowances will appear on the next one, which of course is what happened this year. The new Article 16 does allow a few extra things with camera drones to happen. So
and if we're talking to other audiences, government, councils, landowners, all of that data, we can if they say to us at the moment, what's the safety record, we go, well, this is what we know, but we know there's a lot we don't know, if you like. So
but if you're able to show the data of the accidents, etc., then of course you can say all of these things happen and no one's even been injured, let alone anything more serious. So exactly, which is some of the questions in the survey discuss how the incidents could be reported via apps and that type of thing, which I personally like the idea of, because anything automated, of course, means that you're more likely to do it. Has the CAA had any kind of discussions with manufacturers about integrating reporting into their apps yet, or is that going to follow?
We haven't yet. So we don't want to prejudge what people ask for. So certainly, I think so far a lot of people have been in favour of automatic reporting, providing they can turn it off. Was one thing that people
absolutely.
And I think the app and the web online sort of reporting are equal at the moment. Personally, the one thing about apps is I know if people don't use them for a long while, they tend to delete them off their phone. So hopefully you won't be reporting every week or month or whatever. And sometimes I think a good online function that works seamlessly on a mobile tablet or whatever, as well as on a desktop, sometimes is just as good.
Stops your phone sort of auto archiving it, essentially, doesn't it, as well? So
exactly.
Which is never useful. But part 2 of the survey discusses the importance of reporting incidents in terms of allowing the CAA to know about trends, which is what we've already talked about. Will that information be made public once this survey is actually finished?
So there's two kind of levels, I guess. So there should be no difference to what we do with traditional aviation. So certainly we publish a lot of data, a lot of analytics, but we also tend to publish some stuff that's restricted to the community. So one thing that we try not to do is release information that could be misused or used in the wrong way. We're obviously out of the EU now, but we were bound by EU legislation, which stipulated that kind of data could only be released for the benefits of safety. So it was trying to stop people using it to cause mayhem. It's all disidentified anyway, so we don't release. So anything that's released would probably have the drone model on, but and location. So if, for example, we have an incident with an airline, it would have Boeing 777, it would have London Heathrow, but it would not have anything else that would enable you to identify the operator or the individual or anything like that. It would all be disidentified. And worth mentioning as well, the survey is absolutely confidential as well. So we don't, unless you put your email address in at the end to be kept in touch or do further work, we don't know who you are.
What about those flyers who are concerned the information could be used against them? So someone that wants to report that type of thing, they feel like they've flown a perfectly legal flight and an incident's happened, which happens. I've said to people, just because you've crashed doesn't mean you're breaking any kind of drone rules or anything like that. How would you answer those people that are concerned with reporting?
So we have Just Culture in aviation, which is throughout every aspect of aviation, whether you're a ground handler at an airport, a private pilot, an airline pilot, air traffic controller, whatever, drone user, it's exactly the same. So if you are negligent, you could face further action. If you have done what could be expected of you, but something still happened, then that's when Just Culture kicks in. And, it's the fact that you have reported counts for you in your favour, if you like, because you've done everything you should have done. So that then Just Culture kicks in. So you don't get that further action taken.
Excellent. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate you taking time out of your week. Thank you very much for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks a lot.